I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Monday, June the 30th. Brought to you in part by Macrocin. Macrocin is proven efficacy at an affordable upfront price. Pay for what you need, not for what you don't need. Keep your cash. Don't have to wait around for a mailback rebate or something like that. Get the savings right up front. Go to macrocin.com. Also, Joplin Regional Stockyards in Carthage, Missouri, they're expecting 5,000 for the Monday feeder cattle auction. It starts at 6 o'clock in the morning. Be a pretty good size sale. But everybody's getting ramped up for Tuesday. They're having the Big Bang Primetime Livestock video with Joplin Regional Stockyards on Tuesday, July the 1st. It's going to be at the Kansas Crossing Casino in Pittsburgh, Kansas. It starts at noon. They'll have a lunch. They'll feed everybody before that. They're going to have somewhere between 55,000 and 70,000 feeder cattle on there. It's going to be a big one, guys. If you can't make it to Pittsburgh, be sure and get on DVAuction.com. We'll be broadcasting that thing live. You can view and bid right there. Pricing late summer and fall cattle. That's going to be happening in the next couple of weeks. So there's a lot of big videos, including the one I just mentioned. Superior's got their week in the Rockies next week. That is all week long. And so there's a lot of videos around. And the market will pretty much be set for your late summer yearlings. Of course, coming off the big grazing areas like the Flint Hills and the Osage, and then a lot of your calves too, your fall delivery calves. A lot of them will be priced. So you want to be paying attention here. We would like to have the board to be kind of friendly here over the next several sessions here before the holiday and right after. But gosh, we've lost $10 to $11 in our cash fat cattle market over the last 2 weeks. It has not been good, and packers have taken back control. Somehow they got enough cattle around them where their needs are not real pertinent right now, and pretty much through July. They're saying they only need a few cattle for late July here, except for the regionals maybe. Man, they have taken control of that leverage in the trading game there. But it hasn't seemed to hurt the feeder cattle market. These feeder cattle were selling very well, even late last week and over the weekend. And of course, Friday, your board just was up really strong. And so where that came from, I don't really know, but it's like they're not paying that much attention to the fed cattle market. I realize there's a lot of room in there, but that room is where you've been making your money. And so they're still really wanting them, and not a lot of cattle moving right now. There's going to be a lot of cattle moving here in about another month, but not a lot of cattle moving right now, and some of those guys want them, and your farmer feeders are especially getting aggressive for them, because that's about the only money they've made for a while is feeding their crop to cattle and turning that into a good gain there and walking that crop to town, or at least a portion of it. But there won't be any late week sales this week. We got 4th of July coming up on Friday, so there'll be some Monday and Tuesday sales. I don't know about later than that. Check your schedule for your favorite sale barn there. But I would not guess that there's going to be many Wednesday and Thursday sales either. Not to mention your Friday sales. But it's not that the sale barns don't want to have a sale. It's that the cattle that they sell, those people that work those cattle when they get to the feedlot or the growing yard, they want to spend time with their families too. So, you know, it's just who wants to do that? So we don't want to do that to them. So that's probably why we're not going to have too many sales from Wednesday on. I want to talk to you about the Kids Corral and the Punchy Pick of the Month contest. It's that time of the month again already. Last day of the month, we're going to give you we're going to give you your Big Kids Corral and Punchy Pick of the Month. Of course, Kids Corral is brought to you by Great Plains Livestock Consulting, and I got to visit with them last week, learned a little bit more about them. They are there to help you. I know a lot of you guys have jobs and have to work too, plus you have your cow herd or your background in cattle. They can just help you with some of those decisions, and likely they'll be able to save you enough money on your feed costs and things that you'll be able to get their consulting services for basically nothing, because it's going to save you that much money the way that they help you. But check them out, Great Plains Livestock Consulting. They're giving away a $200 gift certificate to Cavender's Boot City. We'll go on with the Kids Corral winners right now. Starting out with third place, it's C.J. Decker, and he's coming to you from Illinois. And his daughter Cora, she's just a little thing, but she loves her cattle. And she woke up from a nap there and saw him watching cattle sales on DVAuction, wanted to crawl up in his lap and watch him. She likes to watch the cattle, and he thinks maybe she's going to be the order buyer in a few years when she gets old enough to get around and do it, because they feed several cattle there. But congratulations to them for third place. Second place goes to Jacob Schwartz, and his daughter Leslie. She's 6 years old, and she's likes to help process the cattle, and she is putting a squeeze on that calf right there. I tell you what, she's getting all of what she's got to put the squeeze on that calf, and looks like pretty good help there. So it's good to see Leslie out there working that hard. And now the winner of the grand prize for the for the Kids Corral part of the Punchy Pick is Susan Kuhneman, and from Imperial, Nebraska. And the grandson Hayden Worth, he is taking it easy. He's figured out a good way to beat the heat and still be able to check the cows. He's keeping it on. I hope that he has some swimming trunks on under that. It's hard to tell right here, but I tell you what, he's got the right idea in the heat of the summer how to watch those cows. But congratulations to Susan and congratulations to Hayden. They're the winners of the Kids Corral part of the Punchy Pick. Now we'll go on to the Punchy Pick winners. Of course, they're going to get all kinds of swag. I mean, tons of it, box full of it, from NationalBeefWire, Feeder Flash, Beaver County Stockyards in Beaver, Oklahoma is going to be giving them all kinds of cool stuff in there. And then Fairpiece has some swag in there too. Plus, they're going to get a whole case of Fairpiece, that revolutionary product that is scientifically proven, and that is a big time prize there, guys. And we'll start out with third place, Randy Petty, and the only thing he put on here was, this is one hell of a mess. And he's got that calf put in there and got his feet up and some of them out, and just prying against that head gate. And I think all of us have had one like that a time or two, and maybe we weren't conscious enough to think about getting a picture of it, but I've been in messes like that. Now second place goes to Matt Anderson. I haven't been in a situation like that. At the first look, it looks like one's trying to get his head in there while another one's coming out. But they're at the Flying A Ranch in Kabul, Missouri. That's cattle country right there. Matt said they were having a long day, and he was getting a little grumpy at the younger folks. They weren't keeping those calves from turning around in the chute, so he had to have one back out and then catch its head like that so he could get the work done for it. But I thought that was a pretty cool Punchy Pick there from Matt Anderson, Flying A Ranch. But the winner of the Punchy Pick of the Month contest, and they get all the prizes, is going to be Dale Corley from Winsboro, Texas. And this was a neat picture that he caught. That's Roderick Bryant there, and Roderick's actually fishing his saddle out of the water. He got in there and roped this cow. We got her roped pretty deep. She had the upper hand. Maybe he wasn't cinched up good enough. She slipped the saddle over the horse's head and then took the saddle for a little wash off in the pond there. But he was trying to get it back out and retrieve his saddle from the water. He doesn't look very happy about it. But I thought that was pretty good. But they're going to win the grand prize of the Punchy Pick of the Month contest. Congratulations to Dale Corley there. Talk about your board for last week. June live cattle futures, Monday was down 72, Tuesday was down 70, Wednesday was unchanged, Thursday up 10, and then Friday up 305. With June ending the contract, ending life of the contract right there, 224.75, up $1.73 for the week there, and they were up 410. You know, August was up 410 on Friday. August ended the week at 213.30, up 348 for the week. August feeder cattle, Monday was up 35 cents, Tuesday down 55, Wednesday up a nickel, Thursday up $1, Friday up $4.60. Wow, boy, that come on strong. With August feeder cattle ending the week at 307.90, that was up 5.45 for the week. Big gains there, especially in the face of that lower cash fat cattle market. September ended the week at 307.90. It was up 5.68. Look at the grains. We're really down hard. Corn, July corn down 11 1/4 cent for the week at 417 1/2. Beans took a dive, down 40 1/4 cent a bushel for the week at 1027 3/4. And Kansas City hard red winter wheat for July was down 47 1/4 cent a week at 516. Ouch! Right while they're out there combining that wheat, that took the steam out of that. Your fat cattle trade through Thursday of last week, 22,000 head had traded, negotiated cash in the 5-area feeding region. That's not a lot, but it was leading into a major holiday week, and like I said, they've just gotten a lot of cattle put around them here in the last few weeks. They've been buying them out front, and now here they are. Your fat steers and heifers up through Thursday at 2 o'clock, that was reported, brought 222 to 233. That was $3 to $7 lower. Weighted average on live steers 227.91, down 697. Your dress sales 365 to 373.50. That was $7 to $8.50 lower. Your weighted average on dress steers 369.10, down 747. Ouch. As a whole, the market in the Northern Plains was 230 to 233, $3 to $5 lower. Your dress trade at 370, largely late in the week, and that was $6 lower. Southern Plains 222 to 224, $4 to $6 lower late in the week, and it was just that's significant losses there. Friday we had some more sales. Iowa sold 7,800, 12,100 for the week. Live sales in Iowa on Friday 229 to 233.50, and dressed from 365 to 372. Nebraska sold 3,900 on Friday, 14,600 for the week. Live prices from 230 to 233, dressed from 366 to 373.50. Kansas sold 900 head on Friday, just 5,650 for the week. 222 to 227. We're starting to see that second market come into Kansas. they're starting to get more cattle selling higher up in the price range, up especially in the northern parts of Kansas there. They did get some fed cattle exchange trade there at $225 on Friday, dress trade at $370. And then in Texas, they sold 750 on Friday, just 3,000 for the week. And the market in Texas on Friday was 223 direct, but on fed cattle exchange through Central Stockyards, they did sell cattle live cash for 224. So just whenever you get competition and in there, that just brings about a better price. Not sure why more people don't do it. Box beef cutout values were a bunch higher last week. Choice cuts ended the week, or with a weighted average last week on choice, 394.19, up 583, and then ended the week late Friday 396.5, up another 230 from that weighted average. Your dress trade, all of last week's select cuts, weighted average 380.89. That was up 804. And late in the week, your selects come back 382.93, up another $2 plus from that. So strong wholesale dressed beef market there. It's really coming on strong. Where was it whenever the fats were at their highest? I don't know. It seems like they're going in opposite directions now. That choice select spread on the weighted average was $13.30. All that information on 441 loads of cuts, grinds, and trimmings. But as I told you one day last week, most of that trade is done on a formula basis, and they're actually selling over 7,000 loads per week. Your slaughter for the week last week totaled exactly the same as the prior week. So even though they had strikes, they had floods, they had a lot of things that were curbing your slaughter last week, come out exactly the same as the week before at 560,000, and both of those are 50,000 less than same week last year. And that's why the Packers have got back control of this, but they'll be wanting to ramp up slaughter a little bit, and there'll be more opportunities to get some of the market share back. Let's talk about what else is going on. In Callaway Livestock Center, Kingdom City, Missouri. They are going to be having a big sale here today on Monday, even though it's a holiday week. They've got a good sale, close to 2,500. They've got one stick-out consignment. It's 500 head of the Willard Cattle Company. It's green cattle in there, guys, and they're going to be top quality, all black. They got Gardner genetics. There's going to be 500 head of them. There's about 400 head of steers, and they're a handy weight, guys, weighing 5.5 to 675, and then 100 head of the heifers, and they're going to weigh closer to that 5.5. But then Jack Harrison's going to have some more cattle in there. He's got 5 more loads of 8-weight feeder steers in there, and then the balance of the offering will mostly be 4.5 to 6.5 weight stockers in there. But don't forget about Callaway Livestock Center here today on Monday. They are on DVAuction.com. Let's talk about your feeder cattle market, brought to you by Specialty Risk Insurance. They're working to protect your livelihood. Your real-time index ended the week at 313.25. That was up 260. And I tell you what, that's significant in the face of a sharply lower fed cattle market, but up 266. And your latest CME cash feeder cattle index is lagging behind at 311.97. Your cash feeders last week were uneven. Big feeders, for the most part, was steady to $5 higher. And then in your calves, they were steady to as much as $10 lower, but especially on the unweaned types, because it's hot around. And in the heat, I tell you what, it's hard enough to straighten them things out anytime, especially when it's hot and sultry out there. But I want to tell you about winter livestock. They had a good sale on Friday there. It was your Superior Steel Sales, home of Superior Standard livestock equipment stick out sale of the day at Winter Livestock Auction. They had a pile of weigh-up cows in there, like 1,250 to 1,600 pound weigh-up cows, mostly bringing 158 to 175. Now this market it's always tops here right before the holiday break because they know they're not going to have as many sales to choose from. But that's a big time quote on slaughter cows. They had young cows, turnout type cows, weighing 900 to 1120. They bring 220 to 248. You serious? And slaughter bulls, they had slaughter bulls, one weighing up to 2,500 pounds, bring $2.30 a pound. That's big time quotes. And Winter's also going to have our top quote for the day here. But I want to tell you about another quote from Jackson County Regional Livestock Market in Ripley, West Virginia. I talked to Daniel Mitchell. He was telling me about this quote. Had one consignor there, had 5 loads of grass steers in, and the best quote on them, the all black, 2 loads of them right off the grass. They were sold on a board type sale, so sold right off the paper. Those 2 loads of steers going to weigh 885. They're going to weigh them straight after a 50-mile haul into the stockyards where they come to pick them up. But 2 loads of them 885 base weight steers at $315.75, and that's in West Virginia, guys. How about Coffeyville Stockyards Blue Stem Special? That's going to be on Wednesday. So we're going to have the Big Bang on Tuesday in Pittsburgh, Kansas. We're going to have Blue Stem Special on Wednesday. That's at the Crossbell Ranch in Copan, Oklahoma. I'm going to be there. It is July the 2nd. Starts at 5 o'clock in the evening. They're going to have steak sandwiches. They're going to have a tent that they're having this all under. They're going to have a cash bar. It's at a cool venue. Be lots of fellowship and good people there. And if you can get out there on Wednesday, be sure and do that. Some other quotes late last week and over the weekend that were impressive. How about La Crosse Livestock in La Crosse, Kansas? They sell 66 steers, weighed 845 at $323.25. Wow. Fort Scott Livestock Market in Fort Scott, Kansas there. That's in eastern Kansas. 59 steers, weighed 603 at Fort Scott, bring $384.50. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere late last week or over the weekend, and your Macrison No BS top quote for the day, indeed come out of Winter Livestock in Winter, South Dakota. It was the Ron and Brant Taggart steers, 165 head of them right off the grass, weigh 914 and bring $330.75. And that's your feeder flash for Monday.